Hi guys, it's your girl Alex.
And Annz.
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Rassy. Today we have the original Fani with us. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hey.
You guys, peep how cool he is. Like, check this whole swag. Take it in. I'm loving it. Appreciate it. Thanks for the energy.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's just pop it off, okay? You already wearing it. Everybody already knows about it. We have to talk about it in general. The Fandana, okay? So yeah, if you don't know, but I'm pretty sure you do, the Fandana is a combination of Fani plus a bandana. You get a Fandana. Boom. It's just like that. So the backstory, after I did a little bit of research, your original guy that was printing it couldn't print the original 2.9 design, and so then you were like, just print my own design.
Yeah. I had like made it some years ago. I didn't even know it was gonna be a bandana, but like I had just made the print, and I was doing merch for 2.9. Shout out to 2.9, my family. And yeah, I mean, he was like, I can't make this, but I can make this. So I just made it, gave it out to all my friends. Like everything I do is like for friends and family in the beginning. So that's how that happened. And then like here we are today.
Here we are. So the fact that he couldn't print the original design that you gave him, the 2.9 design, do you think that was like fate? Do you believe in fate? Do you believe in coincidences or things happen for a reason?
Things definitely happen for a reason, but then also some people don't have capabilities, you know what I mean? So that's literally
So the
just
reality
how it happened.
is.
Yeah, it just
What
it
really
just happened to
happened?
work for me like that. Like, but I mean, I still want to make the 2.9 bandana. I just realized recently, like,
I never got to that.
yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna do that next year.
So my first question for you is your name, Fani. Is
Yeah.
it an abbreviation for anything? Is it
Yeah,
a
it
nickname?
is.
Okay, so tell us about
Yeah, my name's Fani. My mom,
Does that mean
shout out to her. It means leader or he who is destined to rule. I guess that's like the epic definition for it, but it's Swahili. My mom, I think she's like Afrocentric, like pro-black, you know what I mean? I think I am too, but that's where that came from, you know? And then she just used to call me Fani. I used to hate it, like, as a kid.
You hated it? It's so adorable.
Yeah, as a kid, because I used to, as a kid, I had dreads, like, longer than this even, but they were, like, bigger. And people used to be like, I don't know if that's a boy or girl. I used to get that a lot. So as Fani, like, it was a girl, you know what I mean?
It's kind of unisex, like.
I guess it's unisex.
But it's so cool though.
Yeah, nowadays, like, it wasn't like the first time I heard a girl say Fani, like when I was like, you know, when girls went from being like gross to like, then I was like, Fani, I like that.
I like how she said that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And then my homie in high school too, he was like, that's tight. Because I used to tell people to call me Cal. And like,
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Shout out to Fani though.
Who was the dude in high school that told you that?
His name was Richard, actually. Richard taught me how to skateboard. He was just like that. You know, you had that friend who's like cool as hell, and they got the girls, they got everything. You're like, man, and then they just start showing you the ropes. Like, nah, this is how it should be.
You're originally from Chicago, but you came to Atlanta for high school?
Yeah, I did.
Growing up here, do you feel like you have somewhat of a more cultural edge? Because I feel like Atlanta's the wave of a lot of things. So you being here through high school, seeing how things have changed, does that give you like an advantage when you go different places, style different people?
Well, I don't style like that anymore, just for the record. But yeah, I mean, Atlanta, the culture in the world is definitely paying attention to Atlanta. It wasn't until I got to college though, and little after college, I really realized like what I was in the midst of, and like how I could like use that to like propel what I'm doing. Right. But I mean, Chicago is very important too. I think my mindset, and Chicago is just so diverse and stuff. So like, just coming with like, you know, how you are as a little kid kind of shapes like how you the rest of your life. I still have Chicago ties and stuff. I would even think like my style and like my sense of the world still kind of comes from Chicago, because when I was down here in high school, I went really hard to let people know like I'm from Chicago, and Kanye West and Lupe Fiasco are like my favorite artists and very inspirational to me in that time when I was kind of like shaping like who I was gonna be. Cool kids too, so like so many people from Chicago and like that Midwest Big Sean. Like, I was even telling somebody else that I was like, I was a bigger fan of Big Sean than Wiz until like I met Kurt, and they were like, "Yo, Wiz is like fire." You know, you start smoking weed and like, but other than that, like, yeah, it's just kind of a mixture of both. But definitely get an edge from being in Atlanta, because this is like, I kind of think it's like Brooklyn in the '90s on the low. Like, so many cultures are coming out of Atlanta, like as far as the music and hip hop, and where hip hop went from like an underground like American culture to like the mainstream global pop culture for the world. That happened here, you know. So
that's a dope comparison.
So earlier you gave a quick little shout out to your fam, the 29 group. Can you give us a little bit more of like description of that bond you have with them?
Well, I mean, we were just a group of friends. I met Jason Siege first in college, and that was like 2007, 2008. And then like in 2009, that's when kind of like everything formed together. And yeah, like those are still all my homies. Curtis, we had like an inseparable bond for a long time. And I was styling him, and I watched a lot of people like the things I put him on. I watched people like take and like, you know, use for themselves and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's how that came about. And we still tight to this day. That's what I was even thinking about recently, just kind of like going back and like trying to figure out like some of the fashion, just the fashion ideas I had, because I feel like I've definitely created a platform for it. But yeah, it just came together as friends. Met Jay Siege first, then Kurt. I feel like he admired me, and like he was annoying to me, but you know, we were able to like, I was able to appreciate like, you know what I mean, what he was doing. And he had like a lot of like, he's just like on it, like he knows the future type thing, you know.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's how that happened.
Were you ever on tour with them?
Yeah, I mean, well, so we had all kinds of show dates all over the place. So, I mean, we went on all types of show dates. We went to, like, South by Southwest 3 years in a row. But we did go on tour with World's Fair. Shout out to those guys, too, because they're super solid, super, like, underrated, similar group from New York. But, yeah, I mean, I did.
What was one of your craziest moments, though?
Craziest moments on tour? Oh, I mean, New York. We were in New York one time, and it got kind of crazy. Just, I don't like, I'm not like a psychedelic person. Like, I just really do, like, I like Mary, and, like, that's it. But, like, you know, some of my friends, they're like, so I guess everybody was tripping on acid, acting crazy in New York, and it got wild, but I didn't like it. You know.
You were just innocent bystander.
Yeah, I always was just kind of like looking on, you know. Sometimes I shouldn't have been. Maybe I should have stepped in certain times, but like that's something I can remember. I can also remember like 29 World's Fair. We all had like a mutual love for like wrestling and stuff. So like it was always open to shows with like wrestling music and stuff like that. That was fun. And that was just a fun time. Like just going to all these different cities, seeing these kids that like, they knew what was up way before we were like, you know, where we thought like we were big, but like just going to different markets, seeing different people, that was tight.
Mixing music and fashion, how did you decide to blend the two?
Well, so like working with 29 and stuff, outside of styling, I was doing like graphics and stuff. So like cover art and like flyers and like single art for all different types of artists. So, I mean, when I was doing that, and I mean, even the blog, like my brand started as a blog where I was just posting artists and stuff, posting 29, posting like, I started posting a little bit of everybody. I would even post a Drake song or whatever, but then I was like, okay, it'll be really special if it's like people I know and I can have pictures of them in my stuff and then like this is their song. So I got that idea from Ill Roots, and then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna be a blog. And then towards like, I don't know. I remember Jay-Z was dissing bloggers and stuff like that. And I was just like...
Jay-Z always does that.
I was just like, I'm not a blogger either. You know what I mean? But then I was like, this is a fashion blog looking at Hypebeast. I used to literally just go to Hypebeast, take their stuff, and put it on my blog. Like, this is the stuff from Hypebeast I like. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that kind of had me in the realm of music. Then 2-9, then doing artwork for them. Then Coach K had me do this artwork for Gucci Mane. Like, he was trying to work with Curtis at the time, but like he had me do the Trap God stuff, kind of like he was trying to work with all of us, you know. And that kind of like transcended, like that was hot. Like in the streets, I was able to go get a lot of work during graphics, and then like I was still giving my T-shirts out. Like, oh, I made your cover. Here's a shirt. So it just kind of came hand in hand, like, you know, just in Atlanta too, like we know so many artists or rappers or producers or this or that, so I just kind of was like here, giving my stuff out. When I started getting love from like the fashion and the clothes, I kind of like stepped away from like the music service stuff in a way, because it's just like, it just feels better to like sell something to someone and they feel good about the purchase, or you know, for a celebrity or whoever to just be wearing your stuff hard. Shout out to Michi or like anybody who just represents your stuff. Like that feels different from just getting paid from something you might not even want it to do, you know? Yeah. So like, that's just kind of like how the transition happened.
I admire the fact that you allowed yourself to transition and then like, because some people battle, I think, with that. Like, I went so hard for this one thing I was going so hard for, but sometimes you just change and you evolve, and that's what happens.
When you made the transition for your brand from the T-shirts to the Fandanas, how did that really like affect your life? Like that was like a super big thing.
Well, yeah, it was a big thing, right? Because like I had got a camera one day just to like capture, like I was giving people bandanas, like cool. But then I'm like, oh, I don't have a picture. I don't know. You know what I mean? So then I got a camera like, okay, I'll give you a bandana and let's take this picture right now. Or I'll give you this item. But T-shirts, that's one thing. And then T-shirts come in different sizes too. So, I mean, just investing in these shirts. And again, like I started just wanting to do it for free, you know. For promotional use only was my tagline. And like, I just wanted to give the shirts out. So, I mean, imagine investing in these shirts, giving them out, seeing no return. Besides, I mean, I guess it came later, but it's just like, I was just like, man, this ain't it. Can't really take that many shirts to a place you can, but it's just like, you can't throw a shirt on real fast, like where it's just like.
And it gives you more versatility.
Yeah.
Wear whatever.
Yeah, so like the bandana, like took them to like Rolling Loud. Got a bunch of dope ass photos that year, and that's when it really hit me. Like, I think it was Yachty, 21. I got them to them. They were like, yeah, this shit hard. I was like, bet. And that's when it really hit me. Like, I was like, oh, like, this gonna go. Like, I need to keep going with these. Like, so that was that.
And it's such a culture clash. Like, the bandana itself is symbolic of culture, just through different phases. Like hip-hop, or through, like, whatever your experience is with the bandana, where you was waving it around or whatever.
Or put it in your pocket.
Yeah, like it just had so many waves and transitions through fashion. Like it was one time people was putting it in the pocket, or putting it in their hair, or tying around their ankle, or tying around their arm. Like it just keeps coming and going.
That's very true.
So it's like a continuous thing.
You mentioned Coach K earlier about how he was trying to help everybody out, put everybody on. Talk a little bit about what he's done for your career and how he's influenced things for you.
I mean, that was literally it right there, Trap God. I mean, that was tight, though. Like, I won't say that was in the, like, as a graphic designer in the city for, like, Atlanta and, like, you know, what we look at in Atlanta and what we appreciate, definitely. We also had, like, a deal where, like, he put my logo, or I got to put my logo on the back cover, because I guess Gucci doesn't really do that like that. So, I mean, that's there for history's sake.
Yeah. How do you feel about, or what advice would you give somebody who's always trying to, like, get to the next person and going up, or, like, collaborating up? I think you do a lot of, like, lateral collaborations, like, especially with Cam Kirk, whoever your friends are, and y'all build together.
Yeah.
How important do you think that is?
I mean, I think that's super important. and it kind of like accelerates whatever you're trying to do, because it's just hard to do stuff by yourself. And that's one thing I've always tried to do, is just like, you know, work with people around me. That's like how the 2-9 thing happened, and then, you know, moving forward, just like brands and just kind of developing good relationships with people.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, that's how I got here.
No, that's real. So I think a lot of people fight so hard to like try to get to the next person up, and it's like literally your homie right next to you is tight.
Yeah.
Vibe with him real quick.
Right.
And go from there.
Yeah, because you never know. You got to put that faith in the people around you, and then they can become something. You know what I mean? And to those people who don't do that, like, that's lame. Straight up.
No, really.
Like, that's lame. Like, I feel like the world, like, it then changed into like a lot of different things because of like Instagram and stuff. I get it, but like stuff's still lame. Like, you know, you gotta like look out for your people, pay homage. Yeah, black people, we have a hard time doing that a lot too, but nobody else does, you know.
Right.
So gotta look at that, and just kind of like always puzzles me, but like. Also, it's like an inspiration, or like
a reason to do it.
Yeah.
This is my last question.
Okay.
Okay. What words of advice would you give an aspiring graphic designer, aspiring person that wants to be into fashion? What would you tell them if they're struggling, or if they just feel like, you know, it's not working? What would you tell them to keep them motivated?
Well, don't give up, as corny as that might sound. I mean, it was even a point, right, when I was like, I had stopped doing the blog completely just to kind of like give all my energy and everything I was doing to 2-9. Like, and the point, like it was, of course it was just like, I'm gonna work. But then it was also too, like as a young kid, I was just like, we're going up. Like, it's gonna be easy. Like, I don't have to do really anything but what I'm doing. This is gonna turn into like something larger than life, you know what I mean? And it's just like, consistency is key. Because in all that time, like, and even some people used to tell me, like, you don't got the shirts on you right now? And I would be like, nah. I'm like, I did the merch. And they'd be like, yeah, but where the, like, I want your shirt. And I would be like, oh, you know what I mean? So it was a whole, like, maybe 2-3 years, especially when we were going up, like, just doing all this different stuff, running around different people, like, when I had just kind of, like, backed away from what I was doing completely, like, I was just like, no, I'm doing this. But you kind of got to do, like, a little bit of everything you can, you know? And just stay true to whatever you first started to do or whatever. You just got to keep doing that, you know? Because it's just, like, the consistency that's key. You'll never know, you know, when or it might happen, like, or what might happen, you know? But you got to, like, keep it going, like that straight line. You're going to hit something, you know?
That's such good advice. I literally have consistency written on my mirror. That's my hardest thing, man.
Yeah, because the mirror gets foggy and you got to rewrite it.
No, that's not. It's actually on a piece of paper taped to the mirror, so it stays
Mine is
there.
written on my mirror.
So it stays there.
Mine says, no, with the...
discipline.
Yeah, mine says stay disciplined.
Stay disciplined.
So yes, y'all, this has been another episode of Rassy, and we're sitting with original Fani. What's up? I'm Ansley.
And I'm Alex.
And we'll catch y'all next time.